Hey, I'm Rob Ayling from Razor International USA. This video is to introduce you to the day-to-day operational elements of the Razor Delta Drive for semi-trailer landing legs. The Razor Delta Drive retrofits to every landing leg found in the North American market. It is used to raise or lower the landing legs as a way of connecting or disconnecting the semi-trailer from the prime mover. When I say raise the landing leg, I mean raising the leg so that the trailer is reconnected to the prime mover so that it can be driven away. For today's video, we have a Razor Delta Drive mounted on a Yost AX100 ultralight landing leg. You'll notice that it is small, probably a third of the size of a regular landing leg, but it is suitable for demonstration purposes. And so just bear in mind that we're using a little sister of the real thing. Every Delta Drive is shipped with a sticker which is intended to be affixed to the full-size leg, typically on the size of the leg. If you are attempting to use a Razor Delta Drive with no sticker attached to the landing leg, please make sure you watch this video, or you are able to have your supervisor locate the sticker and affix it to the leg so that it is there for future reference. But most landing legs sold in North America have a high and a low gear. High gear is used to lower the legs to the ground to take the weight of the trailer off the prime mover. Low gear is used to raise or lower the trailer, typically when it's full or partially loaded, but either gear works with the Razor Delta Drive, as I'll now demonstrate. So the unit is on. It is in high gear. To get it into low gear, in this particular unit, it is pulled out, and then the unit moves in low gear at a much slower rate, but it can lift heavier loads. Put it back into high gear, it is pushed inwards, and high gear is again deployed. The high or low gear does not always fully engage, and sometimes the gear is stuck between high and low. If you change gear and you observe that the leg is not going up or down, just either pull it or push it towards your desired gear and it'll go into gear no problem. In a typical scenario where a driver is seeking to disconnect the semi-trailer from the prime mover, the driver will set the air brakes, remove the fifth wheel pin, and then lower the leg to the ground. Using the auto button, the leg will lower till it hits the ground and automatically turn off. I'll demonstrate that now. In our scenario, the landing legs are now on the ground. The trailer is now supported by the landing legs, and the driver can move the prime mover away by dumping the air suspension and driving off. Or, if the driver desires, he can further raise the trailer by pushing the timer button here. One point, however, it cannot be raised further in high gear, so we have to deploy low gear, then hit this timer button once, it'll run for 20 seconds. Hitting it twice will run it for 40 seconds. Hitting it 3 times, 60 seconds. Typically 3 to 5 times is perfectly adequate to raise the trailer almost to the full extent of the landing leg. One important difference between the two green buttons, the automatic and the timer, is that by hitting the green auto button, the landing leg will deploy and stop by itself once it hits the ground. With the timer button, it will run for 20 seconds, or if hit once, 40 seconds if hit twice, and so on. And so they are fundamentally different. You can hit the auto button to lower the landing leg and then leave it. You don't have to sit there and watch it. You should be close at hand when you're deploying the timer button. If there's any issue about this, please feel free to call us or email us. Our numbers and the email address is on the website. Even if you're on a job and you're having issues, please call us. We'll be happy to help you. So the bullet points to remember when using the Razor Delta Drive. First, always deploy the air brakes on the trailer before attempting to raise or lower the landing legs or disconnect the trailer from the prime mover. Number 2, lower the landing legs to the ground using high gear and the green button here. It will automatically shut off. You do not need to stand and look at it. If the driver wishes to raise the trailer higher, you need to put the drive into low gear and deploy the timer button here, 20 seconds, 40 seconds or 60 seconds. The next scenario, the trailer is disconnected. It is too high to connect to the prime mover. The driver has to then engage low gear and use the up blue button to lower the trailer. You should also stand by and watch this and hit the stop button when the desired height is reached. A couple of troubleshooting suggestions. If the unit is not working, there are several things that you can check. First, the fuse box has a replaceable fuse. Actually, the fuse resets itself. If the unit's not working, try checking the fuse. The fuse is in here, it can be reset and it typically doesn't blow, but if it has blown, there is a spare fuse in here. It's easier to retrieve those with a long nose pliers, and it can be used to replace the existing fuse. If that doesn't work, the unit comes with a hand crank which is inside of the battery box, and it is easily deployed. First, put it into the cover and remove the cover. This is intended to keep dust out of the unit. Did that come out wrong? Deploy the hand crank and then move the unit any way you want using high or low gear. If you're lowering the leg or trying to raise the leg once the leg is on the ground, always use low gear. You put the cover back on. And put the unit back in the battery case. So there is no need for anyone to be stranded on the side of the road if the unit malfunctions. If it does, you can hand crank it after you've confirmed that the fuse is not blown or you replace the fuse. And last but least, call us or email us and we'll be happy to help you out if we can. But there's no need for you to be stranded on the side of the road because you can use the hand crank. One final troubleshooting tip is that we've occasionally seen a situation which we call stiction. This is where the landing leg has been fully extended downward to the end of the extent that the gears will run. The unit then won't move. If this occurs, make sure that the unit is in low gear and push the blue upward button or the downward button to get the unit to move. Typically the blue upward button will do it. This is why we recommend when you're using low gear to raise the trailer after the legs are on the ground that you observe it, even though you're using a timer, that you sit and watch it so that it doesn't overextend.